Yeah, it's Touhou. More Touhous. Do the Touhou. Something called build. It's Tsukiga Gotoko. Gotoku? Whatever. Let's figure out what this Touhou is about. It's that United Fronts. It's the buddy one. Project as the moon. As the moon. It's a whole project as the moon. If it was screen, that's good sound. It'll go a little bit quieter because you break my ears. That's better. Oh, voice. Sorry, the voice has to go away. I apologize, but that's just how it works here. That's just how things work here. That's the new games. This game saves that certain points automatically good. The manual saves are disabled for the sake of the experience. That's fair. That's totally fine. Bunny. Hello. There once lived a little rabbit on the moon. Many rabbits just like her were living on the moon. They would live carefree, day in and out. Together they would go about their tasks. Like making mochi and fighting and getting buff. That's a buff bunny. That's a buff bunny. Some were farmers, some were soldiers, and some would pound mochi. She, however, was a very special rabbit indeed. Indeed, she's got a little moon hair accessory. The little rabbit was the personal guard of the moon princesses. Multiple moon princesses. Together with the princesses, she lived in the palace. Together, they lived happy. Oh, that's nice. Then one day, bad men came to the moon. Fucking spaceship. They were big and scary and wanted to take the moon for themselves. The little rabbit set out to defend the moon, together with her sisters. We will fight, they said. We must fight. For the moon, for the princess, they said. But the rabbits were no match for the scary men. No, Neil Armstrong's too strong. I mean, he is called Neil Armstrong, so you know he's got buff arms. You know, he didn't really have a stand a chance. It's kind of in the name. The little rabbit watched on as her sisters would sink to the ground, one by one. With tears in her eyes, she could do nothing except run. The little rabbit, in her haste, tripped and fell. She fell a long, long way down and down, before finally finding herself in a place rabbits were never allowed to go. The little rabbit cried because she knew she would never find her way home. Oh, that's real sad. Oh no. Poor little rabbit. Oh, hello. Hello, Moko. What the fuck is this thing? Man, I was not aware this place was open again. Alright, so that's the rabbit one. You were aware of this establishment? I practically lived here for a while. I think it was back in the 50s. Can't quite remember. Interesting. I was only made aware of it because it switched owners recently. Don't tell me. It is under INT management now. I should have figured. Putting Terio's machinations aside, it's rare for you to call me out somewhere. Usually I'm the one to ask for a drink, buddy. Did something happen? Whatever would give you that idea? I mean, I never thought about it, but I only ever really asked to go out for a drink. Whenever I have some shit I'm dealing with. And you, well, I think you said yourself that you are happily married to my work. Damn, now I feel kind of bad that we never hang out unless I have something to vent about. Don't worry about it. I enjoy your company good enough. And besides, your well-being seems to prove beneficial for my work as well. And because your bitch of a boss is someone to kill this with time with. You could certainly put it that way. Man, you really know chap my ass sometimes. Anyways, I take it that means you just kinda wanted to hang out? Affirmative. Alright, I got time. Let's just have some drinks and catch up. It's been a while. Let's talk about work. Oh, we've done this. Wait, I'm pretty sure we've done this exact same thing, but somewhat other than rice, I think. Well, whatever. It's been over a year, so memory's hazy. Let's talk about current employment. If you don't mind me asking, what's your current occupation? Haven't I told you? I started working at the school. Oh, so you did act upon your intent to switch career paths. Wasn't easy exactly, but I managed to land a job as the resident PE teacher at the school. That tracks, that makes sense. I assume at the same school as Miss Kamishirasawa. Kamishirasawa, okay. Without her, I wouldn't have gotten that job, yeah. So how's your new job? It's, well, pretty different from all the jobs I did in the past, but I'm settling in okay, I think. Seems like this school has a bit of a delinquent problem. Oh, I see that being a bit of a problem. You have a habit of attracting trouble from these sorts of characters. I want to say you are wrong, but I got jumped after school on my first day by some punks from the school. Don't know why they thought that was a good idea. Maybe they do that with other new teachers too. What did you do? I couldn't exactly go all out against a bunch of school kids, so I just took it. Some of them hit pretty hard, but nothing I could handle. So I just stood there, letting them rain on me. After they were tired of trying to beat me unsuccessfully, they kinda just backed off. The little punks ran off after that. So what happened then? Nothing really, but it seems like I might have earned their respect. I think they might have heard rumors about me around town and thought they could prove themselves by taking me on or something. Guess I proved myself to them. A bit of an unorthodox teaching method. But I am glad to see you are trying to do alright by the students. Maybe you have what it takes to be a great teacher after all, Moko. It's so hard to know when you are being sarcastic. Oh well, I'll just take that as a compliment. What about the old job? You mentioned at some point that your previous work was... freelance bodyguard work. Yes. What'd you want to know about it? Was it fun? That's an odd question. You said you liked fighting, so I was wondering. Well, fighting is actually a small part of the job. It involves a bunch of other stuff outside of that. The job is less about fighting and more keeping the target away from fights. You have to watch out for possible threats and stuff. Also look imposing to ward off anyone who might want to harm the target. Fighting really is a last resort. Of course, so hire a bodyguard because they know they will run into trouble. At that point, you are a glorified mercenary, to be honest. It comes with the territory, I assume. I never thought that. What? You never worked as a bodyguard? I thought you mentioned something like that once. Royal Guard. Guard by the name only for the most of it. How so? I think I explained this before, maybe you forgot, but back on the moon, when I was charged with guarding the princesses, there wasn't much to guard them from. The moon is so isolated from other realms, the only strife we faced during my time in the guard was when Earth invaded the moon, the event that started the Lunar War. You came to Earth shortly after, right? Correct. Why, you think about so intently? Oh, nothing. Nothing. Anyways, don't you also guard Kaguya and Eirin? Hardly. It is rare for an intruder to make it past the mansion's passive defenses. Besides me, that is. You are a special case. You know, I'm just not gonna ask. Let's change the topic. Work experience. You have been alive for a significant span of time, haven't you? You could put it that way, yeah. Tell me, out of curiosity, how have you earned your keep throughout? You mean what I did for a living? Yes. I'd rather not get into that too deeply. It wasn't a good time in my life. But I mostly beat people up, I guess you could say. Was a Yakuza for a while too. You were Yakuza? I mean, she does give off the vibes. Yeah, never told you. Still got the tattoo too. It's the only sort of scar that ever stuck. It was, I don't know. Must have been late Edo, I think. Yakuza were pretty different back then. Hardly comparable to the ones today. Was there a reason for you to become Yakuza? Man, that's a personal question. You just don't seem the type to join any sort of organization. Well, we all look for a place to belong to, I think. Back in the day, before magic and yokai and stuff became common knowledge, so to speak. Being an immortal wasn't exactly easy. Even if I wanted to, settling down was basically impossible because before long, people would catch on. I don't age, I don't die, I don't change. I grew up to adulthood, sure, but I never got older since I was 19 or so. The Yakuza, especially back in the day, were a bunch of outcasts. A lot of them, now that I think about it, were actually yokai trying to live in human society. Huh, that's a take. My affiliation with them didn't last long, however. When I found out that Kage was hanging around this town, I had to ditch my clan. You didn't have to. You decided for yourself. You know what I mean. Been here ever since. Place changed a lot over those 300 years. I didn't really keep count. It used to be some village in the mountains, you know. Now it's still a fairly small town compared to other places, of course, but I don't know. It's home. Are you glad you came here? You mean outside of seeking revenge? Yeah, of course. I wouldn't have met Kain if I didn't. I wouldn't have met you and all the other folk. And people here have always been more accepting of the supernatural. I had an easier time fitting in than anywhere else. The city does seem to attract the unusual, yes. Alright, let's talk about people, since we are the topic. Princess Kaguya. Let me apologize in advance for asking, but how has your feud with the princess been going? You really have to bring that up? It is prudent to know such information for my work. There has been a sharp decrease in bloodshed at Ayante as of late. I take it you have finally taken my suggestion to heart and sought out more peaceful methods of resolving your feud? I guess you could say that, maybe. I don't know. After what you said that day, and after I started going out with Kaina, I kind of naturally went after Kaguya less. Kinda worries about so much. Me fighting Kaguya, I mean, Kaina's always showed up to pick me up after our bouts, mostly literally. I feel like Kaina worries about me more than ever now. No, wait, maybe she has always been like that and I just never noticed? I just kinda lost motivation going when means seeing Kaina this way, worried. But Kaguya kept sending assassins after me, so not going and fighting her clearly hasn't worked. I can't exactly have assassins showing up at Kain's place all the time just because I'm there. What if Kaguya got the idea to kidnap Kain? What if she got hurt? Then I remembered what you said and, well, I challenged her to fight me in the video game instead. Man, she really kicked my ass. Did you know how much time she spends with video games? It's obscene. Makes sense. Dario would be the person to have filthy game otaku, go figure. So I take it you kept trying the video game angle? Without success so far, yeah. What do you usually do when faced with insurmountable odds? You surely faced hardship in your lifetime before. Plenty. Well, if I'm usually a head through the wall kind of gal, but I'm not dumb. I know what I'm outclassed. However, I'm not one to give up easily. So I usually withdraw and train. Usually I find someone who can train me and come back stronger than ever. And your training method for the game of choice? I don't really know anything who plays these games outside Kaguya, and I can't exactly have her train me. Reasonable. So I just kinda hit the arcade, fought people there. But that bitch has been focusing on practicing the matchup, I just know. She keeps blocking my mix-ups, and when I think I can catch her with a fair Fafnir, she... sorry. None of this probably means anything to you. No, but I'm willing to listen all the same. What I'm saying is that I couldn't make any headway so far. But I'm practically practicing, I'm getting better. I'll go get that bitch eventually. Well, as long as it keeps the princess entertained and our mansion intact, it's all the same to me. Fully glad am I to see that you took my advice to heart, though. I will talk about Aaron. What are your feelings on Aaron-sama? Aaron? Well, on the one hand, from what I heard, she's kinda responsible for that elixir. So she is at least in part to blame for all the shit Kaguya did to me, but she seems like such a reasonable person. Like, she seems really nice and hardworking. I get the impression she's just another person who got wrapped up in Kaguya's bullshit. Also, she seems willing to help people in need. So yeah, I guess Iron is okay in my book. Alright, about Chewy. What about Tewi? Have you seen Tewi around as of late? I have no idea who Tewi is. The little rabbit? No, not really. I was hoping to maybe learn something about her day-to-day operations. Has she been slacking again? Possibly. I have the sneaking suspicion that she has been making dealings with behind Eirin-sama's back. But as much as she hates doing her job properly, she is quite proficient at staying out of sight. Seems so, eh? What about Miss Kamishirasawa? I've been meaning to ask, how are things with Miss Kaine? Oh, great! Why'd you ask? You seem happier since the first time we were drinking in this manner. That, yeah. Sorry for that. We basically didn't even know each other, and I dumped all my emotional baggage onto you. But, wait, this is Dark Seek. Okay, good to know. If it weren't for you, I would probably never find it in me to confess my feelings. I don't think I ever got around to thank you properly for that. Thank you, Ryzen. I said back then that I owe you. I don't really know how to make it up to you. There is no need. Still. Are you happy? I mean, of course I am. Just, oh man. You know, you really get to know a person a whole different way once you start going out. At this point, we practically live together, so I got to know Kaine like that too. I want to know much more about her. I love Kaine so much. Aww. Man, I'm embarrassing myself, don't I? I'll shut up. Alright, talk about something else. Talk about town. The previous incident, whichever that one is. I believe the last time we really got to see each other was... At a possession incident? Yes, that sort of business. Yeah, that was quite something, wasn't it? It was quite the sight to see you go shake down a bunch of people. My good reputation took a massive hit that day. This incident made my work infinitely harder for a while. Tewi took care of the situation as well, blaming me for a racket she was running behind my back. Wow, that must have sucked. Did you ever find out what the deal was with that person? What's her face? Something sleepy. Miss Dormy Sweets? Yeah, that one. Sadly not. I haven't managed to pay her a visit since the lunar invasion. Huh. What about the lunar incident? How did you fare during the lunar invasion incident? All I got from this incident was moon rabbits causing troubles. Beat the shit out of them, of course, though I thought it was some of you guys first. Figured out real fast that wasn't the case. Pulled some moon tech guns on me, the bastards. That was a new one. Not that it mattered really, but I still feel pain. All the Iron Tape bunnies use regular guns, or at least use magic like normal people. Magic like normal. I had to fight some of my former comrades too. Friends even. Couldn't catch a break, could you? Did you know? I incapacitated them, of course. None came to harm. Oh, good. Good. So what went down at the capital? I mean, I know you came back safe enough, but still worrying to hear all that, you know. Speaking of which, you gotta go back to the moon that time, didn't you? That was home. I didn't go back to the moon for leisure, exactly. I would think the name Lunar Invasion make it the fact obvious enough. Yeah, but you still got to see home again, right? I wouldn't exactly put it this way. I am of the moon, but I have left it behind decades ago. If circumstances were different, and if it were years prior, I would have happily remained there. However, the situation has changed. What do you mean? Ayente is my new home. My time here on Earth has filled me with impurity. At this point, one could call me an Earth rabbit, and it would be a fair assessment. I could no longer stay on the moon, even if I wanted to. There's no way to reverse this process. I will stay impure until the day I die. My presence would throw the capital into chaos. Man, I didn't know that. That sounds rough, man. I'd be lying if I said I didn't know how that feels. Being immortal and all. Bursting out of time and out of place. Yes, well, what attachment I hold to the moon is, just as my visit during the lunar invasion was, bittersweet is a good way of putting it, I think. Did something happen there? You call it the lunar invasion. What's up with that? I cannot disclose all of the details, though these are very confidential matters. But to not leave you entirely in the dark of the events, an enemy of the moon had infiltrated the capital and leveled a devastating attack. Not a conventional attack, mind you. Not something an Earthling would understand as one. If I had to draw an Earthly comparison, it could be compared to an act of biological or... Oh, that was nasty. Wow, that sounds serious. It was. The capital was empty, devoid of people. Everyone had evacuated to the dream world, to a copy of the capital. The situation was dire. Thankfully, we managed to resolve the situation with the help of the Shrine Maiden and Eirin Sama's ingenuity. I had to leave the moon behind before the incident fully came to a close, however. Thus, I didn't have the opportunity to do much catching up, as it were. After all, even with the culprits defeated, the incident persisted for a while longer. That's a bummer. You could put it that way. I did meet some former associates on my way to the moon, however. While circumstances weren't the most pleasant... It was still not seeing them, huh? Indeed. Okay. Drink your water. Let's talk about some yokai. You know, I have been thinking. Shoo, what's rattling in your brain case? I have gotten the impression as of late that yokai gained a bit more acceptance. About fucking time, don't you think? Most yokai I have met are decent folk. Besides, most humans aren't defenseless against them anymore. Oh, with the prevalence of spell cards and laws and stuff. Back in my day, it was either you are good at fighting, good at magic, or dead. When it came to fighting yokai at least. Well, not that you'd have to fight every yokai you run into. A lot of them are good folk. May pull a prank on you, but ultimately good people. Yes, that makes some sense. As I recall, before the spell card laws came into effect, exterminators like the Shrine Maiden were in much higher demand. Humans seemed a lot more afraid of the possibility of yokai in their midst lashing out. I never really paid attention to that. Now that I think about it though, isn't that kinda bad? I thought that yokai live off of fear or something like that. I don't know if that hypothesis holds water. They are, however, beings more spiritual in nature. That much is true. To my knowledge, it would be more accurate to say that yokai live off of emotions and belief. At any speed, I suspect this new wave of yokai sympathy may stem from the establishment of that temple. Ah, Mjorin. That would make sense. They do teach a very yokai-friendly doctrine after all. What about the Mjorin Temple? Have you been to the temple? Have you? I can't say I have gone there often. If I did, it was strictly for business. Neither have I. I'm not all that religious. Neither am I. Why ask? Well, it is only that. From our early conversation, I got the distinct feeling that you were more intimately familiar with that temple. I won't say that. I only really went there a couple of times to train, you know? Training? Yeah, that temple has some really good fighters under their roof. Nice people, training with them is fun. I've been trying to kinda learn the head-nun's fighting style. I see. What about crime? I faintly recall us talking about the streets of the district being unsafe upon our previous meeting. Did we? Might have been some time ago, however, I'm not entirely sure. And now that you mention it, I did get jumped an awful lot nights some time ago. Did that problem persist? It let up, I guess. It went from daily to weekly at least. Good to hear. I hope Touhou is taking her job more seriously now. And that might be, but it could also be just, you know, I beat up so many punks. I got stabbed plenty of times. Shot even. I might have gotten some kind of a reputation out here for being unjumpable. I haven't considered that, to be quite honest. You might have a point. This will require further investigation. What, you thought I'd be a good benchmark for petty crime? To be quite frank, you have a habit of attracting trouble. Actually, I think you have a point. I hate when you are right sometimes. Speaking of, have you heard any rumblings from the underworld? Why, may I ask? You seem to be in the loop with these things. I feel like I need to kinda keep in the loop too, you know? Heard something about the Hakugyokuro muscling on your guys' turf? Hakugyokuro... Whatever gave you that impression? Just some rumors I heard. Said that one girl from there was seen around these parts often as of late. Yeah, it's an odd rumor. I never heard of the Hakugyokuro being players in the underworld of the city. Though I heard that they were considered a subsidiary of the Yakumo clan. Benny, for your thoughts? I can't claim to be an expert, but I do believe that it is fairly common knowledge that Hakugyokuro has worked with the Yakumo family. Everything else is either beyond my knowledge or confidential. I get you. You don't want to talk about it. Fine by me. Let's talk about... Alright, more... Cause talk about the Tanuki lady. Noko, tell me, who was that lady with you during the possession incident? Who, Mamizo? No one special. Just an acquaintance I made at the temple. She's big Baki Tanuki from Sado, I think. So a friend of yours? Friend may be a bit much, just someone I partnered with for the incident. I wanted to try it out. She wanted to try it out, so we teamed up. It was like a way of tag team fighting. That sounded interesting, so, you know. I see. You really do like fighting. I sure do. What about the nun? So about that nun. Oh, Hijiri? I assume. Real nice lady. Kind of an odd one. She's a Buddhist nun from what I gathered. Preaches a lot about love and acceptance for yokai, which you don't hear every day. She's also insanely strong. So, in a sense, as you'd say, a fighter is strong, as in good at fighting? You didn't mention learning her fighting style. Yeah, that too. But I mean just raw physical strength. I haven't seen her do it, but I assume she could go toe-to-toe with Oni. She told me that she learned magic that enhances her physical abilities. Must be some powerful stuff indeed. Interesting. How about some free time with martial arts? You like fighting, right? Guilty as charged. Have you ever tried to live out your life of physical altercations through sports? You mean like karate or judo or something? Precisely. Not really. I don't know. These sort of martial arts that are more like sports competitions don't really interest me. There's something missing. It's not real, you could say. Huh. Interesting assessment. I would have assumed you would enjoy these sorts of events. Maybe mixed martial arts competitions would be more your speed. I'm not very knowledgeable on the topic, but from what I've heard, these sorts of competitions have become popular abroad over the years. What's this mixed martial arts about? It is, as the name implies, a form of fighting competition where combatants are allowed to use any form of martial arts. Do they allow magic? Some do, I would assume. Maybe there's a dojo of sorts for this sort of fighting style in a city. I guess I'll look into that. What about fighting games? You mentioned that you started to play video games with Lady Kaguya, yes? Sure. I assume she has played a variety of games with you by now. So I was curious, what games in particular you liked the most? Well, she mostly played fighting games with me. Wait, don't tell me. She forced you to play games with her? No comment. My god. To answer the question, I like Guilty Gear the best so far. Thankfully, the local arcade place has a few machines running that game. Do you enjoy playing these games? Well, loaded question. I'd be lying if I said I didn't. I started because I wanted to beat Kaguya, of course, but gotta say, fighting games are pretty neat. They sort of managed to capture the feeling of a no-holds-bar brawl pretty well. Good to hear. What about alcohol? You are fond of alcohol, aren't you? Yep. What is your favorite drink? Hard to say. I like sake, naturally. Makes me feel all nostalgic whenever I drink it. Umeshu is good. Shochu is also good. Like me some chuhai. You ordered beer pretty much whenever we would meet, however. Did I? Never thought about that. Wouldn't that be your favorite then? I don't know. I like beer, but it's more of like the staple drink, you know? Like, I do like beer, but it's just sort of the default, I guess. Other booze for special occasions, I'd say. Interesting. I suppose I learned something new today. What about love? Now let's get to the juicy topic, I guess. How does love feel? That's a complicated question.
Say, Moko, you love Kaine, don't you?
Yeah, of course. Guess that's pretty obvious.
If you'd bear me with me, what does it feel like to be in love?
What's this all of a sudden? It's hard to put into words. It's like a warm and fuzzy feeling you feel inside. You look at that person, you think of them, and you just feel happy. Like you found a place you belong, I guess. I don't know. That's how it feels for me, sorta. I'm not great at explaining things like that. Talking about feelings always makes me all fussy, like my tongue is tied up.
Thank you anyways.
You're welcome. Okay, just tell me what's up.
What are you referring to?
This. You've been acting weird all evening.
I don't know what you...
If you have a problem, you just tell me. You clearly called me out to talk for a reason, and I want to hear it. Maybe I can help you. Maybe I can hit your problem in the face. I won't know until you tell me. Come here.
What are you...
Don't worry about it. Just sit yourself over there.
Fine.
You've been laying into me with probable questions all evening, so now it's my turn. Tell me your troubles, bunny girl.
Have you heard of one Yomo Konpaku?
Konpaku. That name is vaguely familiar.
She was involved in the imperishable night incident.
Oh, it was the sword girl.
Correct.
So, what about her?
It is kind of a long story.
Shoot, I got all that for you, buddy.
Well, Yomo works for Lady Yuyuko, the mistress of Hakugyokuro. Shortly after the incident resolved, Ayante started cooperating with Hakugyokuro for various reasons. At first it was only Eiren-sama dealing with Lady Yuyuko. However, as of late, me and Yomo were set to cooperate.
Wait, you don't mean...
Yes, I believe that is where the rumors you heard stemmed from. What our cooperation entails, I'm not at liberty to discuss. However, that isn't really important anyways. That is because, well, we started to forge a friendship. As it turned out, we had a lot in common.
I kinda figured as much from my limited interactions with her.
Be that as it may, our relationship has become more intimate as of late. And a couple of days past, she kissed me.
Oh!
Yeah. The thing was, I always saw us as good friends. However...
Now you aren't sure anymore?
I believe one could put it that way, yes. It is obvious that Yomo wants to pursue a more, physical relationship.
So what'd you do?
I let it happen.
Was that okay with you? It wasn't?
It's complicated. I didn't hate it, but at the same time, it just didn't feel like I imagined it to feel. Do you remember how I told you that I had an interest in romance on a theoretical level, just not on a practical level?
Yeah.
Well, I thought this would be different this time. Before Yomu, I had never gotten so close to a person. Back on the moon, I certainly had friends. I certainly had people I was very close with. There were also people that tried to pursue a more physical relationship, but I never saw them that way. While I grew closer to them, I never as close as I have with Yomu. I have really come to value Yomu, you see. She's so earnest, so hardworking. Yomu possesses this warm smile. Whenever we are together, I feel like my worries are so far away. So, I just went with what she wanted to make her happy. But I don't feel a desire to reciprocate these physical interactions. What if the relationship escalates? Would I be comfortable with having sexual intercourse? I have never felt the desire to engage in such behavior. But I have also never felt the desire to engage in a relationship as we have now before in the first place. I just don't know anymore.
You are afraid of losing her?
Yes.
Huh. Forcing yourself to do something you don't want to please someone else is bad, you know?
I am aware. Yomu seems to be too. Yesterday she told me that I didn't have to go along with her if I didn't want to be with her. And I didn't know what to say. So I just ran away.
Oh.
We haven't talked since. I feel miserable about the whole situation. She's been trying to contact me, left me messages. I can't force myself to look. I'm scared, Moko. Mortified even. I don't know if she wants to ever see me again after this.
Have you told Yomu all this? How much she means to you?
No, I haven't.
You should, like, right now.
What?
I will give you the same advice you gave me back when I was sitting where you are sitting now, so to speak. Confess your feelings to her. How she will react is unimportant right now. If you don't tell her, your feelings will never reach her. How about this? You shoot her a message and tell her you are here, that you want to talk. She'll come, I'm sure. I'll go, and you two can talk. Sound good?
You're right. I will contact her right away. Thank you, Moko.
Let's just say we are even now.
Water break. I sent the message. Oh god. My innards feel like they're twisting and turning. Panic is taking hold of me. Should I... No, I can't. This is too important to run. Deep breaths. Deep breaths. It started to rain. I hope Yomu's fine out there. Wish that I would have sent the message sooner, so she needn't go out in the rain. Perhaps she won't come because of the rain. Ryzen, I saw your message. Look, I'm sorry, I was too pushy. I know, just... You must hate me now. It's written all over your face. No, Yomu, please. I'm sorry. Yomu, calm down. I just want to talk. Yeah, okay. Listen to what I have to say, okay? Okay. You are very special to me, Yomu. Before meeting you, I have never felt these emotions for anyone before. This is all very new to me, and that frightens me. Ryzen, I suppose what I'm trying to say is, I love you, Yomu. I love you too. Let me finish explaining myself, please. My attraction to you may, however, be different from the attraction you feel. It is clear that you want a more physical relationship, for us to go closer on a physical level as well. I, however, don't harbor such desires. I'm not entirely opposed, just... it doesn't come natural to me. I lack the drive to pursue such interactions, you see. Never in my life have I felt the need to get physical in such a way. That being said, I also have never felt the need to pursue a romantic relationship either. But I feel a special connection to you, and I want to do right by you. What I'm trying to say is, I don't know if I can offer you what I want, what you need, but I will try. What I ask of you, though, is to give me time to adjust, to find out what I can and can't provide you.
This is really nice, though.
I have said my piece. Thank you for your patience.
Very formal. Very formal confession. It's kind of cute.
I don't know what to say. It may be hard to understand. It is still very hard to grasp for me as well. I think I understand what you are trying to say. You want to be more than friends. I reckon we have passed the point of just being friends a while ago. And I don't intend on turning back now. I love you, Ryzen. I love you too, Yomu. I don't want to pressure you into something you aren't comfortable with. You're special to me as well. I'm much the same in regards to never having felt this way before. When I'm with you, I'm overcome with these feelings, urges, desires, thoughts. I want to hug you, kiss you, hold your hand. I want to see your smile, get to know you more and more. I want you to hold me, touch me, kiss me. It's a lot to take in. But being with you makes me feel like your worries are so far away. Yeah, exactly. I want to be with you too. I just don't know how much I can offer you physically, but I want to be with you, that much is sure. We'll figure it out. Together. If you have me, that is. I'd love nothing more. Aw, that was cute. Conversations. Good stuff. Project as the Moon. Yeah, outro music and stuff. As the Moon, a Hoka Bento studio game for the Touhou Prod Jam number 5. Cool. Art hexadecimal. Additional art Pixatiles. DeviantArt Pixtales. Ancient Temple, original composition, zone arrangements gone. That's what we're hearing now, I guess. Invisible Full Moon, original composition, zone arrangements gone. Original composition, zone arrangements gone. I can't read that. Not even got pretend to understand it. Till when? Original composition, arrangements gone. Okay. I'm gonna do the full credits. It's the only correct thing to do. Slower Cherry Petal, original zone arrangement gone. Friday Night, original composition Kensuke Naga, Yoshihiro Arai, arrangements gone. Written and directed by Akiko Osaka. Cool. Well done, good job, stuff. It was cute. Thank you for playing. I mean, for reading. It's not much of a game. I don't really understand why they keep saying playing. It's not really a game. It's just text. But that's fine. Anyway. As the Moon. It was good stuff. It was good. I enjoyed it. Conversations, they're the best. You get to know about people and stuff like that. Feelings, opinions about all kinds of stuff. I don't know any of the incidents and stuff like that, but it's cool. It was good. Excellent stuff. Well done. I hope there's more eventually. I mean, there's like 80 things more. But anyway, bye-bye for now.